I'm going to put the sign in next. And what I'm going to do for the sign is I'm not going to take any more colors because I want to have kind of a soft change with colors and just gradual change. So if I take some of that same color that I used for the sky and put that on the sign, I'm just repeating the sky color again, but by putting a second layer on there, I'm going to increase that color, or the intensity of it, whatever word you want to use. It's going to be just a little bit darker, so it's going to make that sign stand out because the sign here.
You're talking about cafe?
Just got,
The cafe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to get that over. And this will look fairly dark when I put it on here, but it's going to dry lighter. And I'll just let that dry. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to start to bring in some of the color of the green foliage that goes along here. Here, I'm not worried about this bit right now. And there's a little bit of it back in here. That's wrong, and I should have brought my iPad because I've got this on my iPad and I could blow it up.
Oh.
And you could look in there and my iPad's replacing my computer on my desk.
Oh, do you like that?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, people love their iPads.
Because, I mean, what I do is I take my other computer and I do all the work on it in Photoshop. And then I send it via Dropbox. Dropbox is thing, so I take it in the other computer, put it in the Dropbox, and I have Dropbox in my iPad, so then I open it and I get it with the high resolution image. So then I open it on here, and then I can do everything that I could do in Photoshop in terms, because the computer I have on my desk, I can move stuff around and look at different points. So by just taking the finger movements that you can use, I can make it larger or smaller. I can take a finger and drag it around, so I can do everything. Sell my computer, buy another iPad. But anyway, so while the sign's drying, I'm going to make some greenish color for those bushes around there, and I'm going to bring in some of my yellow Hansa light. And I'm going to get a little bit of, don't tell me. No, I ran out of sap green and forgot to put it in here. I've got sap green deep, so I'll use sap green deep, but sap green is really what I wanted. Got way too much. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get a little light green. I'm going to start with the light, so I'll go ahead and clean my brush, get some yellow, and oh, it's so powering.
Is that a really light yellow?
Oh, yes, the yellow Hansa light is. You could use it in a ruling if you wanted to.
Okay.
I have a Windsor light, I think, that's about like that. There's a little more.
Some of them, and you kind of have to, I like the yellow Hansa because to me it's fairly transparent. It says it's semi-transparent when you look at some of the catalogs where they have the colors. But some of them, when you get a lot of the lemon yellows, what they've done is they've added a little bit of China white to it.
Oh, so it's not transparent.
And so it gets to be kind of opaque.
Oh, okay.
And,
It's chalky looking.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's why I don't like indigo as a dark blue because it's chalky when it
Chalky.
dries.
Yeah.
So-
And it's so pretty when it's wet.
Okay, I'm just going to go through here and where some of these, and I'm just going to put a few little dots in here, just to kind of just give a general idea of some of those trees and bushes back in there. And it gets darker as we get down in here, but for right now, I'm just going to put some of these colors in, go around it. And then it comes around over here near this person back in here, and it goes around this sign up in here. I'll do some negative painting around that sign so that I can, and that'll look white when we get all the other stuff around it. Now I'll go in and I'll get a little bit more green. I'll bring in a little blue. I'll bring in a little of the red because that will have a tendency to begin to neutralize it a little bit. I'll add some raw sienna to it and see what happens. Let's just, okay, I got a nice good muddy green. So I'll start with some of that in here. And by just touching it in a few spots, the colors are all kind of running around here. And now I'll add a little of the deep green. And I'll just touch it in a few places because it's gonna, everything's still pretty wet, so it's just gonna kind of run around there. And I don't want to get too many little spots, and I don't want to have a lot of little things, because if I get little sharp lines or sharp edges, then the eye's gonna want to go there.
Yeah.
What yellow did you use?
I use yellow Hanselite.
Oh, okay. Gamboge works in place.
Yeah, Gamboge are really, those are all good. And there is a little of a bush like this. Up here near the sign. These are some of the trees that
Is
are
that kind of in the background?
yeah, they're
That's what you see through, past the sign.
by coming around the sign this way, that makes the sign come forward. And this, and then I'll come back in and get a little of the darker color in there just to touch it up. That's looking pretty dark right now, but it's all going to blend and run all over. And that's going to be enough for in here, because by the time I bring in all these trunks and everything like that, this is all you're going to see is, oh, okay, there's some green stuff back there. But you get something that begins to look. Well, and see how this dried where it looked kind of dark when I first put it on there? But now it's just a hair darker than the rest of the area. And I'll do this, when I get the lettering on there, everything, as a matter of fact, my pencil lines have almost taken over everything there. But it's going to have a very light look to it.
Okay.
What are you gonna use on the, what color are you gonna use on the lettering?
I'm going to take some of the same, I'm just going to use a little bit more blue and a little bit more of the